Okay, so here's our group, Milestone 1. Our group members are Zach Blair, Destiny Davison, Cassie Yoder, Abby Tuttle, James Bayoku, and Ted Yang. So we first want to introduce the company we are doing, and that is the University of Southern California, otherwise known as USC. And USC is the leading private research university in the world. It's located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. It has a staggering 23 academic schools and units, and it's also known for its supportive community that is surrounding the entire campus.
So some of USC's strengths is they're ranked one of the top schools in the nation, 23rd, I believe, and that's ranked among schools such as Duke and UCLA. A lot of their students average a high GPA, so there's not a lot of students that are struggling. As Zach said, USC is one of the top research schools, so they offer a lot of research opportunities for their students in any field of study that they want to. They are a diverse university, so 23.9% of their students are international students, and they don't just have students come to campus, they offer a lot of studying abroad options for their students to have. A thing that USC prides themselves on is their ability to help strengthen the community, LA and California. So USC generates around $8 billion annually for the city of Los Angeles, and they bring in around 42,000 jobs. And another thing they pride themselves on is their family tradition, so a lot of their alumni are still in contact with the school, and they help current students with job placement and interviews, both nationally and internationally.
For USC weakness, USC does offer online courses, but they do not advertise it much. And their online course and programs are not treated differently than their regular courses offered on campus. And students cannot ask which programs are offered online because they will be denied. And there is not a lot of information given for online courses, and the most seem to be for graduate and professional programs. It is very expensive to live in California. So it is no surprise that a private university cost of attendance will be high as well. Tuition at USC is around $60,000 with additional fees such as like housing, food, and other stuff. The total will be around $80,000. USC also has a 12.9 acceptance rate for applications.
And so now I'm going to talk about Troy as an individual. So Troy is a late bloomer. He started going to college, however, he stopped because he felt a little too overwhelmed from the large campus. But he does love to learn new things. Traveling has really opened his eyes to new cultures, and he has gained a desire to go back to education once again. So Troy is a middle-aged man. He is 40 years old, which is a lot different than the average college-age student, and usually colleges are reaching out to high school students and not adults. So he needs to check to see what type of different adult programs they have and how they can accommodate his needs. He's also a flight attendant, so he does have a full-time job, so he needs to look into what part-time schooling do they have, as well as do they have any online schools, and just how can they accommodate his schedule with that. He's also married. His wife does not fully support his decision to go back to school. She doesn't necessarily understand what kind of benefits he'll be getting from this, and she doesn't fully understand. So we need to try to help accommodate him as he's dealing with schoolwork, work as a flight attendant, as well as his personal life. He lives in San Mateo, California, And this is actually a 6.5-hour drive, so he definitely will need online classes, and he'll also need to look into if they have different satellite campuses where he is not forced to drive to Los Angeles every day. He's a very friendly guy, he's dedicated, he's a passionate leader, so we have no doubt that once he does get involved, he will continue to thrive as long as the school is able to meet his different needs.
Cassie just told you a little bit more about Troy's background, around his age, what he's interested in, and kind of more about his family background and his work life. I'm going to transition into talking more about his top motivators and his personality. So first, as we look at his top motivators, one of his big motivators is fear. And that's something that we really need to consider as we look at our strategy for how to market to him. Another one is he's very incentive driven. So with that, the University of Southern California needs to make sure that they're incentivizing Troy in ways that will make him eager to join the university. Another top motivator for him is social. So with that, he loves being around people and creating a community, and he desires that community. So the University of Southern California should make sure that they are marketing a very social atmosphere and a community-driven campus. And lastly, he's very driven by growth. With that could be personal growth or career growth. And so as we're looking at a university, we're probably going to be thinking more about career growth. So with that, we are hoping that the University of Southern California can figure out a way to really market career growth, whether it is diving into your career in your studies or more the after-school process of how can we teach students how to better prepare themselves for growth in the workplace, whether that's going up at a management level or whether that is growth by traveling, which is something that Troy's really into. So we are just excited to learn how that we can strategically help the University of Southern California relook at their marketing strategy and see how they can use those top motivators of Troy's and really market to him better. And then secondly, as we look at his personality, some key things to think about are that he's an extrovert, which means that he gains his energy from being around people. So when we think about that, one thing that could be a weakness is if they only offer online programs, because then Troy will not get that time of being around people and feeling in community with others. So we are hoping that we can find a way for Troy to be able to attend an on-campus atmosphere where he can really grow and learn in a community setting. Another thing that is a top personality for Troy is he's creative. So whether it's in the classroom or in his job, we hope that he can find creativity. One of his desires is to own a clothing store, which definitely shows one of his personality types of being creative, as he will probably be really into design and into the marketing strategy for his company, and that can really pull out his creativity. So we hope that at the University of Southern California, we can really market creativity in the classroom, whether it's in projects or in group settings, or creativity in how we will teach more about creativity and how to use it and learn how to work outside of a box and not be so defined in a box when it comes to learning, or whether it comes to how you will propose business plans in the future, or how you will run a business in the future as well. So we talked about his top motivators, and we kind of talked about who he is as a person and more about his personality type. So now I'm going to talk about his goals and his frustrations. So first, as we look at his goals, one of his goals is to earn a business management degree and open up a clothing store. So obviously you can see the connection between his goal and the company that we've been assigned, which is the University of Southern California, because you can't get a degree in business management without a college. And so we are hoping that the University of Southern California can market in a way to really bring Troy in and make him feel like that could be his place of getting his degree. Another goal of Troy's is to move to a foreign country within the next few years. So with that, one thing that we thought of is we need to find ways that the University of Southern California can truly market studying abroad or just learning more about different cultures, because if that's something Troy wants to dive into, we want him to understand it better and be knowledgeable in cultural differences and being aware of diversity and just really understanding what it's like to put yourself in a different culture. And another goal of Troy's is to help people excel in life. And with that, we think it would be great if he could learn more about leadership in school, because he seems like he's already a leader through his personality type and just his interests. And so being involved in leadership classes and more business management classes, we hope that he can really dive into that interest of his. As we look at his frustrations, one of his frustrations is regretting not finishing school when he went. He had gone to school, but one of the things that was really overwhelming to him was the size of the school. It kind of created this sense of fear and a sense of he was uncomfortable in the setting. And so at the University of Southern California, we hope that the school can market to him that they aren't as big as his past school, which was the University of Houston. So as we look at the University of Southern California, their undergrad program is about half the size of the University of Houston, which is a lot smaller, and we think that that will be a lot more comfortable for Troy. Another frustration of Troy's is always feeling like he's on the go. He works a full-time job, and so adding school in there is going to be a lot. And he fears that he will have a hard time finding time to study, which is honestly so relatable, and it's understanding that it would happen that way. But we want to show Troy that you can balance both work and school and find that work-life balance between school, work, and your personal life. So our marketing strategy is to hopefully find a way that the University of Southern California can market to Troy that they're willing to work with students, whether it's to find time for tutoring or finding a program that really works for people who are in a full-time position wanting to go back and future their education.
We're now going to go into the reasons why USC has been missing the mark when it comes to their marketing initiatives. So the main reasons that USC has not been making the mark when it comes to their marketing initiatives is that they have not been prioritizing marketing their online programs or their adult programs for people like Troy who are looking to get back into college rather than first entering college at the end of high school. At the same time, if there are different satellite campuses that are around the area, they need to make more of an effort to market those campuses for people like Troy who live 6.5 hours away and are looking for the same kind of education and the same kind of community that USC offers outside of their main campus. We hope that you found this video to be very informational to the research that we hope to find later on in the semester and be able to present more fully at the end of the semester at our last milestone. Thank you for watching.